visionary.
Damn, savvy.
Working hard so they can't forget the name. Shout out Chop, we locked in, it's the chain gang. Yeah, can't stand around the kid if you gon' keep complaining. I could drop some names, but nah, I'ma keep it players. We flashing bitches every time we see a hater. Keep my name out your mouth, bitch, unless we talking paper. Come on, motivate, yeah, elevate. Take that chain around you and get real estate. Know some niggas moving at the same pace, but it's crazy how them niggas think we in the same race. Ever told the truth and they still lie to your face? Call me as a bitch and we could tell by your bank, yeah. Yo.
What it do, Sav?
What's going on, Chop? You good?
I'm good.
Back again, huh?
Back again.
Yes, indeed. Hey, we got not one, but two special guests.
Two special guests, man. These are good people, man, referred by some really good people, man. So I'm going to go and introduce y'all and bring y'all to the limelight. So we got Miss Latasha in the building and her husband, O. How y'all feeling today?
What's going on?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming on, man. This is definitely a blessing for y'all to be able to come on, talk about your business, your entrepreneurship life. So we definitely are excited to have y'all on here and, you know, hear about y'all's story today.
Indeed.
How y'all doing? Y'all doing good?
Good. Amazing. Yeah.
That's good. Glad y'all can make it. But now we're going to jump right into it because we know y'all got a busy schedule. So first, let's just say this. How did you two both get started in the tactical field?
Wow. I was minding my business, working out in the gym, and she ran up and was like, "Come here, you finna marry me."
He asked about the tactical business, not how we met.
So, years in the military, being an instructor on the fitness and the firearm side. Okay, we got together, and her aspirations on the social work therapy side, and it was actually her that found a need in that realm. Like, wait a minute, it takes a lot of mental stability, support to even do this stuff, and say, hey, there's a need that's missing. Well, not need that's missing. There's a missing resource for needs out there for a lot of people. So she kind of spearheaded the conjoining of the businesses.
In other words, when he started Body by Old Tactical, we saw there was a need for a woman's touch.
There you go.
In that
I always
realm.
gotta have that woman's touch.
Gotcha.
It just changed the game.
You know, so being out there with him, me learning and training myself with him, and then having women clients, that's where Tactical Social Worker was born. Because seeing women come out there, train, have firearms, but for whatever reason, leave them at home, leave them in the trunk, things like that. So I'm like, why is it not sticking? Why is it not sticking? So going through, I want to say it was my last semester of grad school for social work, and understanding how trauma works, understanding like the basis of mental health, like things we essentially do to clean up the messes in our life that we didn't make in the first place, and then being able to prevent further trauma. I was like, oh, so understanding what it means to be safe, to feel safe, to protect yourself. It wasn't connecting between the training and what it really means to train and to be a firearms owner. So that pretty much Body by Old Tactical, plus me being in social work school, made the baby, and here we are with Tactical Social Worker.
It literally got to a point on the range when I would be training a woman client and she would break down crying, and I was like, you know what? Just go see Tasha.
Oh, really?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, seriously, because again, one thing that I like to say a lot outside of her presence, I'll say it now, it's difficult for me to train a woman if I look like her assailant.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You're kind of intimidating.
I wouldn't even say intimidating. It's like I'm triggering you just standing
The trust
here.
factor.
Yeah. So, you know, like if you've been whatever kind of assaulted, especially via firearm by a man, I have to break through all these layers just to get you to do stance, grip, sight picture, sight alignment, trigger control. You're not listening to me. You triggered by the incident that happened. You see what I'm saying? So you know what? Yeah. Tasha got you. That's really how it went down. A couple times on the range it happened like that.
Yeah, so having to walk women through panic attacks to where
On the
even
range.
like being next to a man's next to a man is triggering just their presence, because you got
Yes.
to look at like sexual trauma, like what did they go through childhood, or what did they hear, see on the news in their neighborhood that has them just scared at the thought of a firearm. Because when it boils down to it, you do have the power of life and death in your hands. Sometimes it's both. Sometimes you may have to go to that extreme to end a life to save one. So you have to ask people, are they really ready for that? So that's where the mental health come into play. And one of my favorite tattoos in my mental health sleeve, it says self-care saves lives, primarily starting with yours. So
No, that's big.
No, that was a lot. I wasn't expecting that. But to your point, that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so let's just say if we have an imaginary woman who has trauma in her life, right? And then she finds her way to you guys. And then do you guys do some type of screening on a personal, not personal level, but just kind of allowing them to open up before y'all get to the tactical part? Or do y'all just jump straight in tactical? Or how does that work?
It depends on how they come about it. Now, it used to be kind of like a shot in the dark, where whoever people sign up, cool, they cool in the class. You know, I'm teaching them, this is the classroom lecture, right? Cool. Then we get to the range and just like, oh my God. So from there, that's when Tasha came up with this amazing idea to have, so I'm gonna let her introduce her program. She got programs where the women will come out on a Friday night, talk about all this stuff, and then they're mentally ready Saturday morning when they get to the range. So
Ready to roll.
Yeah, we have it set up literally on her site for that. There's a plug on my site for, hey, ladies, if you got this going on, going over to the Tactical Social Worker site, and we good. We got you like that. So that kind of funneled more people, more women towards her who have those discomforts when it comes down to training with men.
So we do have two different approaches with that. I do just, so the therapist part is just like one layer of me. It's not like a permanent thing. There's just a joke and say like I'm a social worker that moonlights as a therapist. At its core, I love creating programs. I love like teaching the education side of social work. The therapy stuff is just, it's needed. It's a part of who I am, but it's not like the core of things. But usually, like if I'm take an example, sitting in on his license to carry course, usually I can tell, sniff out, pick up, however you want to word it, women who are dealing with trauma just based on how they're responding to him and some of the stuff he's saying. So I give an example. If you tell someone, especially someone who has experienced any type of violent trauma, directly or indirectly, that it's their responsibility to keep themselves safe, they normally gonna spaz out. Whether they do it internally, whether they get triggered, start crying,
right,
whether they become goddamn combative in class.
When she's picking up on people just shifting in their seats.
Yeah, like it makes them
It's
uncomfortable.
So body language is
Stuff like that. I go pull them out of class, sit down, talk to them, directly tell them like, hey, this is probably what you need before we even touch the range. So some of my clients, I do like, we gotta have a talk, we gotta have some classroom work first before we go to the range. Cause last thing I need you out there panicking and freaking out. Now I gotta go to the extreme to make sure I keep myself safe and you safe.
right.
So just considering where people's minds are when they are in those spaces. So
Have y'all had any situations where people have done your training program, had a situation where they had to defend themselves and came back to y'all and said, man, like, you know, I was in a situation and what I learned from you guys has really helped me or saved my life?
Yeah.
I would say yes. It hasn't gotten to the point. Let me think. Let me make sure I ain't lying. You know how you have to like, let me think
On
real
the
quick.
academy side more so, and that's the thing. This is the difficult part of our job. Most of us in our culture, we're reactive. We're not proactive.
Gotcha.
So they've come to us after that horrible trauma. And the thing about it was discouraging for them and kind of difficult for them. You go through the training and now you're beating yourself up because like, if I had this training that night when that horrible thing happened to me, if I had that training, you see what I'm saying? So now you're just like, okay, I got that training. Now, her words, I wish a motherfucker would.
Because you don't get a do-over.
You don't get a do-over.
Yeah. So it's fight or flight.
Yeah, I got my thought now. So we've had some clients who have been able to successfully de-escalate
Yes,
without
yes.
having to pull their firearm.
Yes.
So,
And that's bigger than actually responding to an incident.
because if you're able to de-escalate a situation, somebody to where you don't have to pull your firearm,
That's a win.
To me, that's a win. It's
a win.
success. Because you ain't got to worry about no paperwork. You ain't got to worry about
No police
sitting in
showing
there,
up.
no bail, because they're gonna take your gun. They still gonna take you to jail. You're
Bro.
gonna have to go through all of the processes. And what does that do to someone mentally? Well, if you know you rightfully defended yourself, so now the whole, oh, I did something wrong because I have to go through this. And so going a step further, what are the chances of someone hesitating the next time if they don't understand that process?
Right.
I think that's the difficult part for a lot of people. Like, from what I'm learning, I just moved from Mississippi, and the difference that I'm noticing in Texas is everybody's strapped. I'm at McDonald's. Try it if you want to. Everybody's strapped in Texas from what I'm feeling. So I know the rules and regulations are a little different, but I guess like when it comes to defending yourself, what is the proper process? If you're in a situation where you have to pull your firearm on somebody.
Okay, so let's reverse
That's
engineer.
layered.
It's layered. Let's reverse engineer it. Number one, you pull your firearm. We're gonna put you in chrome bracelets, right?
Because it's a felony at that point.
We're going to give you a presidential escort all the way downtown. We're going to give you a bath. We're going to give you a nice outfit. And we're going to give you a nice suite downtown for however long it takes.
And we're going to hold your stuff for you.
And we're going to hold your stuff in a little Ziploc bag. We're good. We got you. I need you to understand that process.
Regardless if you're in the right or the wrong.
Right or wrong, we're going downtown. You need an attorney, period. Because guess what? Yeah, you innocent till proven guilty, but you guilty till proven innocent as well.
Correct.
Because when the cop rolls up, all they know is somebody shot, somebody's dead. We don't know who. We can't take the dead person to jail, but we're going to take you downtown. We got an interview. I'm sorry, it's going to be a podcast without the mics and cameras. Right? Have your mind right. And that's one thing that I love that Tasha teaches women. Look, don't be scared of that presidential ride downtown. Do not be scared of that. Because they're going to ask you questions. You're going to say, I don't know what happened. I'm waiting on my attorney. And then when your attorney asks you what happened,
Tell your story.
and the punks jump up and get beat down. That's what it is. You understand what I'm saying? As long as you have that mindset, and that's what I'm teaching it from the backside, because I don't want you to be thinking about, okay, stand script, site picture, tell I'm in trip control and squeeze. But what happens if I shoot this guy?
So I want to add on something to what O said. Even before you get to the point where you make the decision,
Facts.
You're going to carry a firearm. What happens, or where's your attention, where's your focus before we get to the point of, I have to pull my gun?
By the time you pull your gun, it's already too late. Yeah.
So that's what I mean by a lot of people are not aware of the mental health side of things, because if you in a shit hits the fan situation, like if you look up and you realize like, oh shit, it's time for me to pull my gun.
Right.
You've already lost at that point, because where's your situational awareness? So the things that we feel in our body when something feels off, our gut, our intuition, depending on who you talk to, root chakra, sacral chakra, things like that, when something feels off, like what are you paying attention to around you? What are the people doing around you? Is somebody watching you? Is something off? Are the people over there beefed out? Is some dude sitting over there eating and his wife ran up on him and he in an unethically monogamous situation?
He was in a conversation. It was just a conversation.
Things like that. So it's a lack of awareness to what feels safe and unsafe. So, and
situational awareness. That's what
it still points back to. I don't know if this is like a real word, but I made up. But like emotional awareness, emotional situational awareness can help prevent a lot of the anxieties that we experience before we get to the point if we have to use our firearm.
Right.
Now, piggybacking off of that, has there ever been a situation to where it's gotten too, how can I put it? It's gotten too tough from the business standpoint to where you would have to reject someone and say, not right now.
So that's the conversation. So here's where we tread lightly. Okay. It's two sides of this.
Okay.
And I understand we're on a podcast. We'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. Okay. My concern is not necessarily your background and all of that. And I'm kind of saying that legally. Okay. At the same time, what we have to understand, we are not just firearms instructors.
Right.
The situation may not dictate you use a firearm. You still might need a weapon though.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So we don't want to limit it to firearm. One thing I'm careful with that you said the word screening in the beginning, right? I don't want a young lady to not come to us, not get what she needed because, well, I had an assault charge when I was in the 6th grade. I beat up somebody in the lunchroom. I wonder if they're gonna let me do that. That's not, no. We deal with that other stuff later. You understand what I'm saying? So we kind of got to be careful when I'm not saying that you need to be careful, but we need to be careful when we address these topics because people generally don't know.
Right.
They'll just go based on, well, no, they're gonna do screening, and back in the day, I used to bang on them, so I can't go. No, that ain't what. That's not what I'm saying. Go ahead, Mom.
So I have a.
I'm sorry. Can I touch her? Can I touch her?
That's your wife.
For all y'all out here, this is the black one.
Yeah,
This is his wife.
This is his wife.
So I have an example, like the whole angry black woman stereotype going around. I get plenty of women who like, oh, my attitude too bad. So told me I don't need a pistol. Baby, if you're not out here slapping the shit out of people right now, like without a firearm, you ain't bad as you think you are. Like, I promise you're not. So my screening is a little bit different than his, and I do think it's an anticipated fear of like, oh, I've had all these previous situations where I may have felt like I wanted to slap somebody down. However, it does take a level of discipline, and that is something that I work with my clients on, understanding that like it's not we gonna just go out here, take pictures, be cute, shoot them up, bang bang. Like no,
Right.
baby, it's a whole responsibility. It's a responsibility to the people that depend on you. It's a responsibility to yourself as well. Because if your goal is to get back home safely, what are you doing to make sure that happens?
We also have classes and drills that kind of enforce that. For example, we got one called Force on Force, right? Oh, I got a bad attitude, I don't need a gun. Okay, let's talk about that. When I take you out there in the range, nice day, breeze, we great, sun shining, we chilling, and you can't hit my target. Now, how the hell are you gonna hit the target if you're mad?
Yeah.
Well, when I'm mad, that'd be different. Cool, no problem. So now I'm gonna put you in another situation. I'm gonna tell you to get to your gun. I'm gonna put pressure on you. I'm gonna put some physical exertion on you, and then I'm gonna tell you to hit your target, because that's what's gonna be in the moment. Well, dang, and it's a humbling situation for everyone.
Men and women.
Men and women. Oh man, believe it or not, in full transparency, I have more women sign up for our Force on Force class than men. And Force on First, I get a simulated. You get a simulated pistol. I get a simulated pistol with sim rounds in it. I mean, they come out. They
Kind of like little paintballs.
like real small, fast paintballs, right? And I gear you up. You put on your protective gear. I don't have on protective gear, and I tell you, I'm shooting your hand. I'm shooting your face. I'm shooting your left ass cheek, and I'm shooting your arm. And that's going to happen in that order. And there's nothing you can do about it. And you're going to sit there like, well, how
No, he said in that order, so I was like, that's bad. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
I'm just thinking of my reaction. This motherfucker gonna shoot me in the face.
yeah, and that's going to be the first one. And when that
You got a
happens,
mask on. You got a mask
Oh
on.
yeah. But I'm just saying, for somebody to say that,
Yeah.
everybody in their head be feeling like, oh man, I got it.
Listen, you know what?
Yes, yes.
Pause right there. Think about what he said, and this happens on the range, and you get people who just think they just gonna wake up and do some John Wick type
does not
action.
happen that way.
It doesn't work like that. Because think about like if you're somebody you're comfortable with, your partner, whoever you call babe. Think about how rattled your nerves get when y'all be beefed out. You already, this is somebody you're comfortable with, who you
Right.
hopefully not gonna lay hands on you. That's a whole nother subject.
Surely.
You know, so think about being
the whole other
think about
podcast,
being
bro.
out. Think about being out in public and this person you don't know done bumped into you or said something or done already came at you sideways, and you're trying to be polite or you're trying to de-escalate or get out of the situation, and they just decided they own one that day. If you haven't been put in that situation, you don't know how you're going to perform. Because it's one thing to argue with somebody at home. It's one thing to be beefed out with your cousin. But this stranger on the street, you don't know what they got on their mind. You don't know what they're capable of, or you don't know. You
What
just
life they
don't.
about.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
you don't know if
That's
they
it.
with the shits or not.
That's it.
So, considering things like that.
Yeah, it's a humbling situation for everybody. It puts things into perspective, because my side is, do you have the skill set based on your own discipline to train consistently to perform said task? That's the easy part. The hard part, where's your mind? Can you mentally handle this? Even if you can get through that, can you handle the ramifications of it? Where's your mind to de-escalate? It is so much more difficult to de-escalate a situation than it is to pull your gun out.
That's crazy.
You see what I'm saying?
And this, I'm glad we're
What you
talking about
thinking?
this because I got a lot in my head.
Go ahead, man.
So, why do you think society has moved away from just doing one of these and getting out the way
Okay,
versus
okay.
using the
Because they
firearm?
live.
You know what I
They
mean?
live to fight
Let's
another
do
day.
it.
Yeah,
See,
like-
now we can say so. Let's be fair. We can't undermine the elementary and middle schoolers. We can't do that. They're genius in this area. We can sit up and say, oh no, old school, blah blah blah, live to see another day. Let me tell you what happened. After I beat your ass in front of all these people that went live on their iPhones.
Because we got social media nowadays.
We do.
Three androids. It's gonna be a bad angle. It's gonna be grainy, but 3 androids gonna get the camera footage too. But you know, you got all these.
Everybody laughing.
Hey, shout out to all the Android users.
Hey,
So we got all these iPhones with the cinematic view watching me whoop your ass in this parking lot. Right? Now you know, come on, bro. Like you not finna just go home and play Nintendo like we used to do.
With that black guy.
With that black guy. No, your girl gonna be like,
you gonna
fix
let
your
him
own
do
plate
that
of
to
food. You
you?
gonna let him do that? You better not say shit to me in this house. Come on, bro. Like you understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
So now we got the pride. You're talking about a time in life where pride wasn't so fragile. Because back in the day, if me and you got into a fight in the locker room, only the other 6 people in the locker room gonna be able to talk about it.
True.
You feel what I'm saying? So
We ain't want nobody to know. You get in trouble.
Yeah.
We
That-
got to
that
be
phone now.
careful
Yeah, that
with
phone now.
We dealing with a lot of pride now. Because at the end of the day, if you think about it this way, dang, this is what you've never heard. Dang, he shot that nigga in the arm, man. Man, nigga, you got shot in the arm? No, that's not the play. Nigga, I got shot and I live, nigga. Niggas, you niggas could kill me. 10 shots and I'm still rolling. I got something to brag about.
yeah.
But if you beat my ass and I live, no, nigga, that ain't, we not finna, no. No, you got me on TikTok and shit, crying and shit, nigga. You feel me?
Yeah.
So no, niggas ain't fighting no more. We gonna de-escalate when we get into the gunplay. And that's the unfortunate fact. That's why everyone's carrying a firearm. Because we can't do this no more. Back then, we would talk about older men who had pride. Dust yourself off, that's how I go. Now y'all go sit in there.
Dap it up afterwards and go on about your business.
Know about your business. But now we don't live in that world no more. And that's the unfortunate fact.
I don't think a lot of people realize we don't live in that world. No.
Bro, they don't. Because think about what you just said.
how old you is.
Think about, there you go. So think about what you just said. In our world, it's more honorable. Because this man get to go home and feed his family. But because my pride is so fragile, I got to take his life. Because he said something to me in Walmart in front of my wife. You see what I'm saying?
No, that's real. Yeah, that's real.
Now, me, I've learned just from having a security company, I've learned de-escalation. I got certain words I use like, come on, bro, not tonight. Let's have a good night, bro.
It's that warning, that courtesy call.
We were in Walmart one time, and this dude, oh my God, Walmart, the only place worse than Walmart is Iraq. In Waffle House.
Oh, y'all had a situation?
Bro.
Listen.
Yeah, I was on some Mr. and Mrs. Smith shit.
Real shit. Watch this. This particular day, she was EP. I'm chilling, nigga. I'm in the Walmart. I'm counting the chips on the bag and shit because I ain't got to pay attention to nothing. And this one Arabic lady,
No, she was in her hijab with her
she's in
babies.
hijab, and she had the babies with her. She fumbled with her stuff.
We was in self-checkout.
Self-checkout.
So,
and white dude was on
traditional,
his white
he looked like he was from the heart of Texas. I'll say it like that. And he started to make like little comments under his breath.
How
And we're
about you
going to the
hurry up,
Muslim
go back
lady.
the way you
So I
come
was like,
from.
oh no, we not doing this today. This lady ain't even bothering nobody. So I'm like, hey.
I'm just like, fuck, I can't get a day off, bro.
You gotta get on
So
do
I'm
it.
like,
You
hey,
had to put your cape on.
So, because as far as I know, it didn't appear that she was very well spoken in English because she was over there struggling with the machine. Ended up calling the other lady, the cashier lady, be up there help you with the self-checkout, to help her with that. And like, homeboy just was like Russian, and
he was on his
out of
white
everybody
supremacy.
that was at a self-checkout, he chose her to make comments about. I said, oh, he on one today. So I'm like, hey, we got to.
And I'm like, bro, so
You
I
ready?
addressed it.
You got the suit.
I'm like Iron Man at this point, like, you know what I mean? So I addressed him, and this is what I said, hey, not today, don't make me do my job. He gave me this look.
What is your job?
I said, look, I just got off work. Don't make me do my job. I'm real good at it. And he got context clues at that point.
He looked
me up and down.
and he
was
went
like,
down there to go check out
and he
somewhere
walked.
else. So
you see what I'm saying? So de-escalation doesn't have to be as passive. It's like, hey, heads up.
You just
I
gotta
wanna get
understand what's really going on.
You got to understand what's really going on, bro.
So, and to piggyback off of that situation, right? Looking at that, because you're not technical. Well, let me know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But in that space in Walmart, you're not actually at work.
Nope.
So how do you, when you say don't let me go to work, you know, and you're in somebody else's, you know, business? How does that?
So here's
You know
what I
what I
was
mean?
taught. Here's what I was taught. In the military and in aviation, we have what you call the OODA loop. Okay, there's a pilot years ago. He said everybody's brain operates on the OODA loop. OODA. Observe, orient, decide, then act. So what my job is to disrupt that OODA loop. When you got an objective, I'm finna harass this lady here at the shelf checkout, and I say something like, hey bro, don't make me do my job. I'd have messed your mind up. Now your mind's like, what the fuck is he talking about? I got you. You're done. Your OODA loop is fucked. I'm in there.
Your OODA loop is fucked.
It's fucked.
So
because now you have
Hitting
to
niggas with the OODA loop.
you have to. The moment I said that, the moment I said that, he did what you did. He had to reorient.
like, wait a minute.
Where the fuck are we? He ain't got on no Walmart outfit. The fuck is his
Like,
job?
what is his job?
You see what I'm saying? Then he has to observe. Observe, orient, then decide what he wants to do. Then I'm already in there. I'm already set to plug him. All I did was stall him just enough to where I was in position. Had he moved wrong, he'd have been lit up.
So in simple terms, when people, whoever said bad guy, and that's not 100% to throw men on the bus, because women be on their BS sometimes too.
Facts.
So when a bad guy, somebody who with the shits, decide they're with the shits, they've already played out how this is going to go.
Yep.
Right.
And I messed it up.
They picked you for a reason, so they're looking for a particular response. And this goes back, this is a word I picked up from going through the training at his security school. So that's
Girl, you
another
touch
reason.
my thigh again, it's gonna be a problem in this podcast.
Do I have to ask
Yo,
okay.
Got his OODA loop fucked up.
Your OODA loop gonna be jacked up.
So we have what's called like your professional presence,
Right,
and from
okay.
that I came
Yes.
up with a term called unfuckwittable. Like,
Yeah.
do you look like you're to be fucked with at that point? So how do you come off to people? Does it look like? Do you carry yourself as if anybody just can run up on you, or do you make people think twice before even approaching you? And that's something I do work with my sisters with. This whole, oh, you need to smile and do this and do that. Like, no, keep that, because it can be a protection barrier to keep certain people out of your face.
So what? Okay, I'm curious to know, what does that look like? What? Explain unfuckwittable.
So you know, so I'll
You
take
gotta give them all the levels, baby.
I know. You might be in a situation. You in the club, you know, somebody bump
Let's
into
make
your
it
girl,
tangible.
and you look
Okay.
up like, yeah, I probably.
Okay.
So you can look at some people, you be like, nah, they just look like I ain't.
Yeah.
I can-
Man,
I
shoot
don't
his
want it
ass.
with
Clean
them.
it.
Yeah, like, versus,
Clean example that you two know very well. Right?
Talk to me.
Here's what a lot of people didn't know. Did you know the dude, the mall cop that you disrespect all the time, has the same exact certification as that big ass dude in all black standing at the front door of your favorite club?
Did not know.
what do they look like? You look at people, you
Professional
assess
presence.
them
So
and
we talking
determine
about
whether they are a
the
threat or
mall
not.
cop on the scooter?
Mall cop on the
With no gun.
Okay. I just want to make sure that's what we comparing.
That's it.
Okay. So,
Same,
okay.
same level 2 certification in the state of Texas. But it's the professional presence. You've seen police officers, you like, I'll beat your ass and take your gun, boy. Some cops be like,
Like, now he fight you in real life.
He ripped up that one.
Yeah.
Don't no cop look like that. He doing something extra. You see what I'm saying? So it's the professional presence first. Okay, these are the levels of what we call compliance. This is how we gain compliance. Is your professional presence intact enough to where people are like, nah, maybe I shouldn't run up in this club tonight with no foolishness. You've done that every time you went out. As a matter, y'all went to baby girl birthday party, didn't you?
You do that when unconsciously when you decide if you're gonna approach a woman
When
or not.
you
Does she
went
look
to the
approachable,
birthday
regardless
party,
of how fine she
you
is?
sized that security off at the door, did you not?
Baby, I sized
I
up
get
when I
cool
hit
with
the cone.
security.
Why? Listen to what you're saying. Why?
Because that's everywhere I go. If you need security,
But you ain't never been cool with a mall cop though. Listen to this dude. You hear me saying?
I get cool with security everywhere I go.
You ain't been cool with the dude on the scooter.
No, I ain't gonna have no
See
smoke
what
in
I'm
the
talking
mall.
about?
See, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Christina gonna be with me at the mall.
Makes sense. So so that's level one. Your presence. Do you look like you to be fucked with? Perfect example. The best example, I gave you the first one. Here's the one you know. She bad. I mean, you pumping gas, you walking from the gas pump into the store. She walks out the store, you look at it, you like, damn, I'm finna holler, and then you look at her face, she got this look. No, I ain't.
She look like she punched me in the throat. Like,
I hit on
nah,
Instagram. I hit on Instagram. I ain't gonna say that right now.
She got 10,000 followers.
Yeah,
That ain't my speed.
I ain't finished. And that's the unfuckwittable look. That's that's the presence. You understand what I'm saying? You make your approach to a woman based on how she looks, based on your approach. Think about it. How many times have you saw a bad one? You was like, yeah, I'm finna get her. And the look on her face was just like, how you doing, man?
have a whole speech.
Let me get this damn dope for your ass.
Practice this speech, and the next time I see her, what's the gas station? Next time I see her at Quick Trip, I'm gonna say something.
At the QT.
At QT.
Now you gotta be singing that song that said, "When I See You Again." Ain't that a Kevin Campbell song?
Yeah, that's the Campbell talk.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is? Yeah. So that's level one.
You done missed out.
Level two. Now let's go back to the Walmart. That's my verbal commands. I'm saying what I have to say, and I'm gonna make you reevaluate. Cause like I said, dude, he looked me up and down. Do I look like I whooped this boy the hand today? I mean, I can almost articulate his brain. Well, I'm feeling kind of yee-haw right now, but I don't think this. He looks kind of hard. I might not be able to do that right now.
Mariner, get the car.
You know what? Go. I don't even want this story no more. You understand? So from there, that's when we go to our next level, to our soft hands, get a little bit more aggressive. This is just compliance, right? And then from there, we go to our attacks, and then from there, we go to lethal force. So there are 5 levels of compliance, and that's really all it is.
So if Buddy would have said, you know what, fuck it, what you gonna do? How did situation
Yeah,
with
what
me?
if he just say, "Who the fuck are you?"
So
you know,
at that point,
God damn it.
You want to come find out?
right? So at that point, I would have stepped into his OODA loop again. I would have stepped in position to where the young lady he was about to address was behind me. I'm sorry. And then Tasha would have been moving over to the left. Then he would have been cornered. Then he would have had to think about that shit again. I said, look, and at that time, I would have said, look, please, don't make me do my job. Now I'm standing here in a non-violent posture. Big brother's watching. The cameras is watching, bro.
They are.
I'm going to go viral. I'm going to post this shit on my page. Do you hear me? And I'm going to mark
Good
everything.
promo. Good promo.
Do you hear me?
Good promo.
And when I post it, I'm saying, somebody come look at this shit. And at that point, my hands are here in a non-violent posture. So when he steps in my direction, I'm going to fear for my life there. Then he's plugged.
It's over with.
Now, what are the attorneys going to say? What are the witnesses going to say? Don't forget my verbal command, and I didn't say that softly like I'm saying it here.
You wanted to make sure everybody heard it.
Think about it. Think about this. I'm going to give you some game right here. When a cop makes an arrest, whether you're resisting or not, what is that cop yelling?
Stop resisting.
That's not for you. That's for the witnesses,
This
bro.
will create a narrative. This
That's
stuff
what
like
we-
this we teach in our classes.
This is what we teach in our classes. If we were here to upset, I would literally put you in position and show you how we do it. You understand what I'm saying? So now, regardless if you're resisting or not, it looks and sounds like you're resisting. I don't know what happened. I just saw him struggling and the cop was yelling, "Stop resisting," and the cop shot him. What is the jury gonna say, bro?
He in the green.
You see what I'm saying? So now we've gotten to level 2. I put myself in position to do whatever I need to do for said compliance. Now, at that point, when I go hands-on, it's 100% justified. Going back to what I was saying in the military, I've got my hands up here in a non-violent posture, giving you the go-ahead, i.e. water flows in the path of least resistance. If you want to get Brody, go ahead. I'm giving you the opportunity. But what you don't know my level of skill to put you in said deficit, and you think you're winning. I fucked your OODA loop yet again. You see what I'm saying? So now you get ready to walk up in my face.
Tickled at that turn.
You walking towards me, I'm stepping back, and I'm lighting you up. You look like the aggressor, I look like a victim. What we gonna say in court?
I fucked his OODA loop up.
No, that's not what we gonna say. No, that's not what we gonna say. I'm gonna sit there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna shave my beard. I was just in Walmart.
You gonna shave your beard?
I was shopping with my wife, and
Hey, you
I
gotta
don't
play the
remember.
part too. Man.
yeah, it's. I don't want to say it's simple. It takes training. It's all training. You got to do it over and over and over and over again.
So with you guys' training, right? Because you say you guys discussed that.
You know what, Paul? Stay right there.
Okay.
Everything I'm saying, she's training women to do exactly that. Because let's be fair. If that young lady with her 3 babies, 2 or 3 babies, had the same training, that baby would say, Allah Akbar, and shut that shit down.
You know what?
And I'd be like, yes. Yes. Look at the Lord. Hallelujah.
Can't stand you.
And then it would have been a different narrative. Oh my God, terrorists. No, I'd have testified my ass up. No, he was fucking with them. He was fucking just like Bush was fucking with them. No, we gotta edit that shit out. Edit that shit out.
So, and that was a lot. That was a lot.
This is some good shit.
Hey, but I ain't gonna lie.
This is some good shit.
No, but I got a lot from that. I
did.
So, with you guys' training, I'm assuming you two both have studied pretty much like the law as far as.
Of course, we
okay.
teach it. We actually teach it. Yes.
So
Okay.
my training is my firearms training is specifically through him and his program.
Gotcha.
The mental health side makes things make sense.
Okay.
And ties it all.
It ties it all together.
Yes.
So a lot of people consider it oxymoronic. So I'm not welcome in firearm spaces. I'm not welcome in mental health spaces. So I do what the hell I want to do and make my own damn lane. Because if you think the whole, even just the whole, and shout out to all my social workers, social work month of May. And
Hold on now. Shout out to social work.
Shout out to all the social workers.
Go ahead.
So with social work, it's traditionally, historically, a liberal field. So you out here toting pistols and shooting, and you're a social worker? Then you have a firearm side, like what mental health got to do with firearms training? Everything.
Oh, my
Both
favorite.
sides.
My
So,
favorite. You train the LGBTQ as well. I mean, why do they need guns? What the fuck? Have you been to Oklahoma?
Yeah, they had a situation a few years back in what was it, Orlando, right?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, no, yeah, in Orlando, but
Yeah.
When they shot that
real
club
story.
up.
I got a call a couple months last year. I got a call. Had some guys down there, Oakland. They called. And it was some cops I knew that was there, and they was just like, "Hey, we got an issue." It's like, "All right, what's the issue?" And I got there. Assuming obviously he would identify as gay, and he was standing over there, and this other guy who was obviously the harasser was like bleeding out of his face, and his homeboys in the pickup truck with Confederate flag was standing off at a distance. And he oh my God. So, and they was like, "Hey," you know, they asked me, "Hey, you want to take him to jail?" Or what? I said, "Tell you what, let me work this out." And he was like, "Cause this is a lot of paperwork, bro." I was like, "All right, let's talk about it." So I went over to the dude. I said, "Look, man, here's the situation. I need you to tell me what happened. You laid on the street, you bloodied up, and what happened?" And I'm asking these questions because I know you don't belong here. You got your beer bottles and you got your Confederate flag. I know this ain't your party down here, bro. I know it's not. But let's do this. And I said, "Look, we can do one of two things. We can take you to jail, but I'm probably not gonna do that." And he gave me this look. And the cop was like, "You want press?" I say no, because if we take him to jail, it's really not gonna serve as justice. Here's what's gonna serve as justice. Bro, you done called this man faggot several times. And the individual that you call faggot beat your ass in front of your 4 homeboys that did not help you. Do you understand the ride home that you're gonna have to deal with tonight? You're not going to live that down. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna help you get up, and we're gonna walk you back to your truck. And Mr. Individual, we're gonna shake his hand and we're gonna let him go on his way. And you got your ass whooped. That is the greatest amount of justice you ever could have got from coming down here. That's a narrative that's not put out. Because don't forget, people want to flow in a path of least resistance. The LGBT look like victims,
They
easy
look like
victims.
soft targets.
And like soft targets, thank you for that. Like soft targets. But yo, you thought that just because this man was dressed like a woman, you forgot this motherfucker was 6'2" and 270?
Damn, man.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Damn.
Joanna, man.
Dude, she whooped your, however she identifies, whooped your ass. Now you crying. You know, he had peed on himself, he was crying and he was
Damn.
bloody. Oh, it was bad. And
So
it-
that's
Yeah, I do
that's
feel
a
like that
different
Brian
side.
home with
That's
it.
a different side of it, yeah.
Like when you bridge into like conservative and liberal, because whether we
Yes.
like it or not, when you're dealing with firearms,
All the
it
way
is a whole
conservative.
conservative and liberal side of things. However, if my job is to make sure people in my community, however they bridge off, whether we're talking about the LGBT community, black people, whether we're talking about women, whether we're talking about
That's-
the non-monogamous community,
That's
you
another
have
one too,
people
yeah.
who still need to understand how to protect themselves. And it's not like within this firearm space, it's not a lot of open arms when it comes to the LGBT community. Meanwhile, you see where women and people of that community that look like us out here get harassed and bullied
Facts.
and picked on, but nobody's saying like, hey, let me show you or let me make you comfortable so you can come get this training.
Yes.
It's just, oh, well, you shouldn't be like this and people do this. No, like, we have adult bullies out here every day. Those children that was bullies in school grow up to be grown-up bullies, and then they bully other grown-ups
Facts.
who don't know how to defend themselves. So if my footprint or my impact here is to at least leave my community's society with a different understanding of what it means to be safe and walk in your truth, then we have to look at how we interact with people who don't look and live like us. Because it's comfortable when we only surround ourselves with people who share our same thoughts, views, and values.
And that's what the caveat is. Who is our training for? That answer is what takes me out of spaces, takes her out of spaces. I mean, and we approach it differently. I mean, you can't whoop me out, shoot me, so I don't give a shit.
What'd your shirt say? What'd your shirt say?
I hear you, but can you shoot though?
I seen your videos.
I see your video.
Precision.
Shit was quick.
Precision.
Yes, sir. It's
What did you did? How you did?
You know, Wild Wild West before they shot Jim West.
Yes, indeed. I mean, and that's the thing about it. You know, we've opened up a space, thanks to Tasha, forever, because I had no idea how to open up those spaces. Because honestly, I don't have a liberal look. There's a lot of spaces I can't flow in because of my look. I get crazy looks when I go to the airport. Like, it's insane. You know what I mean? So us working together opened up a myriad of things for us to be able to do and give people in the community.
Yeah.
Definitely. So where are y'all located? For those who don't know.
The office, yeah.
The office is in Arlington. The range we train out of is south of Dallas and Ferris.
Okay.
So
We gonna have to come out there, man, and get out Martin Lawrence, get out Mike Larry and stuff.
Sidebar, we do travel.
We do travel.
We do
We travel
travel
all
as
over the country. All over the country we do that.
So where are some of the places you all have traveled to train? And
Everywhere. I mean,
So we've been to California,
Detroit,
Detroit,
Chicago,
Florida,
Phoenix,
North Carolina, Phoenix,
all over Texas.
Philly.
You said Florida?
I said Florida. Yeah, because I said Florida, then I said Philly.
Yeah, DC, Maryland,
Alabama. Of course, Texas.
of course, and county.
wow.
I got a question
Sure.
for you. O.
Go ahead. What you got?
Have you seen the other gentleman that's went viral with his tactical?
Which one?
I don't know. He has that voice like, so trainer. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that.
Oh, you talking about old boy in Detroit? Boy in Detroit.
Have you ever met him?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Now,
No.
how do you feel about this? Now, this is to throw no shade, but from a
See,
different person who's in that space, how do you feel about that?
Okay, number one, honestly, I don't. And I don't say that harshly. Okay? We live in a society of which somebody's going to like it and support it. Whether it's right or wrong. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Do I think those tactics are practical? I have not been in an environment to where I've seen it practical. He may have been. I have no idea where he's been to where those things are practical and applicable. Nonetheless, do you? And I'll leave that there since you set me up for the political banana peel.
No, I just, it's always good to just get a different perspective of what they be
like I
looking
said,
at.
It's not a part of, those things aren't a part of my program. And I'm not going to say those things are wrong. I will say that those things are not applicable to what I've experienced.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when entrepreneurship, there's a level of compatibility
Yes,
that has to be there. Because whether we like it or not, we are personality driven. We operate our vibes.
We not for
operate
everybody.
our energy, chemistry. Even when it comes down to who you spending your money with. So even with that, like I understand, I ain't for everybody. I'm not, and I'm totally fine with it. However, the people who are looking for me will find me.
And I don't want you all to confuse followers, likes, and views for adequate information. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I mean, yeah. Dude went
If
viral.
it don't get 20,000 likes, don't mean it's not good information.
Bro, he went viral. He went viral mainly because many in the firearms industry who actually know what they're doing, not to say he doesn't know what he's doing, would post it and would say, hey, look at this is wrong. And it was posted and shared, posted and shared, posted and shared. So the people who don't know any better, which is the vast majority, see something really cool.
Right.
And they're like, ooh, I want to learn that. And there we have it. Versus your, hey, you need to take a license to carry course followed by a defensive pistol 1 course, learn how to hold the gun, learn how to shoot the gun, but the ego won't let you do that. You just want to jump right into the tactical stuff. It is what it is.
Meanwhile, you don't even know how to drive from your damn holster.
Facts.
Damn it, I can't get.
Yeah. The whole time you done got whooped.
Nah, this is definitely good information. I guess so we can dive in and get to know y'all a little bit better for the audience, man. So how about y'all just tell us where y'all from and a little bit on how y'all met and how y'all became one to grow.
I'm gonna go first.
Tell the truth.
First of all, clearly with you, truth is subjective, so don't do
Tell the
that.
truth.
So I am originally from Louisiana, from Shreveport. We
Okay.
moved out here.
Okay, then I-20.
Yeah, that's why I like my I-20 brethren.
Yeah.
When did we move out here? We moved out here in 2015. We started dating in 2014. The dynamic y'all witness here. My first date, I didn't have say-so in. He told me what was gonna happen, and I was like, okay, I'll let you know. He was like, no, I'm not asking you shit. I was
It
like,
wasn't part of the program.
Yeah, I just like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. He just told me where I needed to be
He
at.
gave the play.
He picked the place out. He told me how he wanted me to wear my hair. He went and got my outfit, shoes, all of that, and I just showed up.
Okay, then John Madden.
And here we are 8.5 years later. So, but I was already en route to transitioning from Louisiana to Texas, so I can go to UTA. That's why I went to social work school.
Okay.
So I was already en route out here when we crossed paths, and he was on his way out here too. So it's kind of just like pushed me in my back.
Just worked out.
Yeah, it really did.
Okay. Oh,
Okay,
your side.
so-
There's 3 sides to every story.
That's what he say. Watch how different
My side.
he is.
And what really happened.
Actually happened, right? All right, so originally from Florida,
Okay.
via the military, got to Shreveport, Louisiana via Barksdale, right? Owned the gym, and one day, 2014, she walked in the building. She was like, "Come here, give me that thing," and I've been here ever since, bro. That's pretty much how shit happened. And,
I want to ask, but I
Sam don't
wanna-
believe you. That's why he's
No.
looking like
I
that.
want to ask, but I don't want
Just
to.
no ask.
So when you say she said, "Come here, give me that thing," that's the part I'm trying to get
Elaborate on
to.
what you
Yeah,
mean.
I'm trying to figure out what does that mean. What does
that
that
was
mean?
me. I was snatched up. I didn't have no say so in the matter. This is just like,
Y'all really believe that?
Hey, I don't,
We just
y'all been together.
We just
8
asked the
years?
question.
Hey, look,
Yo, you just ask the questions.
yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out.
So when you ask me, like, y'all been together a long time, I have to resort back to Stockholm Syndrome. Y'all know what Stockholm Syndrome is?
elaborate for us.
Stockholm Syndrome is when somebody kidnaps you and they
wow.
hold you for so long you just fall in love with them.
when you develop like
Yeah.
intimate feelings
Yeah,
where you're
intimate
capturing your
feelings, so-
abuser. That's what he's saying. So
yeah,
he's trying to say I
yeah.
abuse
This
him.
terminology is
Oh,
great.
wow.
When I get to work
Yeah.
tomorrow, I'm gonna fuck them up. I'ma sell these
where-
customers on the
That's where
phone.
tactical came from. Yeah, that's where.
I'm gonna tell these customers on the phone, say, "Man, your OODA loop, you need to get it right. That's why your bill not right."
Fuck you in your OODA.
No, but it was genuinely
Gonna have a meeting by the end of the week.
So to give a truthful concept,
Okay.
I was training in the gym. She was training as well. One of her friends was one of the leaders in the course, and she had come out to Dallas. on some kind of date with some fuck boy. I don't know.
That was
Now I'm letting him tell my
Shout out
story.
to Buddy
okay.
for
I'm
fucking up.
Shout out to brother for fucking up. So the young queen, she was like, she was showing her a picture of him, and he resembled me. And the young lady snatched the phone and ran over to me and showed me. And with a straight face, I was like, "Nigga, I'm standing right here. You wouldn't pick the Ishmael, old fake ass nigga, and I'm standing right here. You know what? Don't worry about it."
It seems like that was
Nah,
pretty
that's
true.
the truth. That's what he did.
Your face, it was like,
That's
yeah,
what
that
he
what
did. And I was
happened.
like, well, nobody even worried about you. Because I was like, I was
But
one of
this
the
nigga
leaders
look
in his
like me
fitness
though.
class.
You went to Dallas and got nigga look like me, and I'm standing right
First
here.
of all, like,
There's only one me.
I'm him.
Stop saying
I
that.
am him.
Our relationship was strictly professional at the time. Like,
He dead ass. Niggas him.
like, cause that's what he said. And I was like, well, nobody even worried about you. Like, just, so like, at the time, I was like, oh, this nigga arrogant as hell. Like, ew, I already don't like him. And just, like, maybe 2 weeks after that, that's when the whole date, like, let
You
me
want
think
to go
about
get some
it.
meat?
So
No, it wasn't like that. He was like, no, it wasn't a question. I wasn't asking you anything. I'm telling you.
So here's how it happened. This was August. Well, the actual day was August 16th, right? August 16th in 2014 was our debut for my fitness class out here in Dallas.
Okay.
Right. So prior to, I was like, look, we're going on a date Saturday. She's like, what? I said, Thursday you getting your nails. Whatever day I sent you get your nails done. Well, what I'm gonna wear? I don't know how you dress. I don't trust you like that. You gonna wear?
Yeah, that's what he really said.
I don't know you like you're not gonna embarrass me. So I'm gonna have my homegirl make your outfit, goddamn, and we gonna go get you some shoes, and then we gonna go out to eat.
Shout out to Pink Lucy.
Shout out to Pink Lucy, man.
Hey, shout out.
Pink Lucy,
Shout
man.
out to Pink Lucy.
Shout out to Pink Lucy, man. Pink Lucy did that. So unbeknownst to her, I reached out to Pink Lucy, and she was like, "Well, I need to know her size." I spit the numbers out. She said, "Oh, you know her size?" I said, "Shit." So
I was slim by then. I was on the like maybe 160 something
yeah,
pounds.
you was
I'm a
right.
good
You know what I'm
240
saying?
now.
You still a mouthful. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You was good. So did that. We went on a date or whatnot, and in full transparency, both of us had just got out of like crazy ass relationships. Shit was insane. To the point where my attitude to the date was what it was because I didn't think it was real no way. Like you ain't finna be around. You just finna be a date. We
We
do
gonna go have fun,
Yeah,
and we gonna go back to street corner like ain't nothing.
Bing bong. Bing bong. Yes, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
So a one night stand turned into 8.5 years later.
Bro,
What we
it was
thought
crazy.
would be.
It was crazy. And it's the fun part. The fun part about it is when we were sitting at a dinner table, both of us had our like, not red flags, but what is it called? Like I wish you would. I ain't gonna lie. If she put her elbows on this table, she done. If she don't know
you
the
had
difference
pet peeve.
between,
Yeah,
if
you got
she
pet
don't know
peeve.
the difference between a salad fork and a dinner fork, that's her ass. I am leaving. Shit.
Yeah.
Don't use a napkin if you don't.
And
Let me
y'all,
find
my husband is, I would say, hot maintenance. I don't really want to say bougie, but
I'm
I'm gonna
bougie,
say
but I ain't
bougie.
gonna lie.
He is
I'm
I feel you, man. I'm a little
he is
boozy. I've been
very-
told I'm a
Bro,
little boozy.
I'm
Listen,
bougie.
he is very high maintenance. Like to the
Stand
point,
on
I was
that
like,
king.
say, man, when he told me we was going on a date, I don't dress like you. I wear jeans, t-shirts. When I wear dresses, sometimes I wear motherfucking tennis shoes. So that's why I'm like, I don't know what you expected me to wear, but that's what I got. I ain't buying nothing. So you don't even worry about it. I got you. I don't trust you like that. No way. Excuse me. So I already knew he was a little like bougie. So I just was like, this dude's gonna be too much. This is not gonna go well. However, here we are. So,
Got stuck like glue.
This
So I
nigga
can't
got
get
on the
away.
date.
like the real glue, and they girl had put it on my head. It don't move.
We gonna say that for another episode because I just want to know.
Look at it. I call my best friend. I say, this nigga got on the date and act like she got some sense.
Cause I do most of the time.
I said, it's a game. We gonna see how this go. We gonna see how she playing. She trying to play. She can't play a player though. You know what I'm
First
talking
of
about? So,
Ask him how many months in that he proposed.
huh?
Oh, you said
Yeah.
months.
Months
Yeah.
before he proposed.
Don't
Yeah.
sit up, back up here.
Look,
Right.
Don't come back up.
look here,
She applied that
Bro.
pressure on your ass.
bro.
Ooda loop.
She from Louisiana. She put something in my spaghetti. You know what I'm
First
talking
of all,
about?
I wasn't even
The
cooking.
whole voodoo thing. you know. Wait, see, our first date was August 16th. I proposed on Mother's Day
The following
the
year.
following year. Yeah.
You was in what's that, May?
Yeah.
August to May. May 10th.
So I mean, and it's a story, in a conversation I have with my dad all the time. My dad's like, "Dad, you know that the ring." I say, "Dad, she got talents, Dad. I had to."
And I hate when he say that in front of my father-in-law.
She got
I just be like, that's so embarrassing.
But like, Mama, she can do shit, Mama.
Mama be like, yeah, that's right, baby. I'm just like, no. Stop talking like that in front of them.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? So, like I said, you know, at the end of the day, people get upset when I say this. Dudes know what they want before they walk up on you. When you give a dude what he want, he gonna lock you down.
I was
Thanks.
minding my business. I wasn't trying to appease nobody. Minding my business.
Talents.
Can you stop? So that's the only
South
reason we
Beach.
married. Why do you say it like that? Is that the only reason we married?
Talents.
Saying that like that. Get on my nerves.
Yeah, I said, yeah, look, hey, it is what it is. We in it for life, you know what I'm saying? So, and she is definitely a gift from the universe. I ain't gonna lie. I was a monster when we met.
Even when you say I be beating on you.
Yeah, I am a battered spouse. We have a help group for men on Tuesdays.
Tuesday nights.
1-800-HELP-MEN. That's our help group.
That's not funny.
It's not like real therapy because I don't know that therapy. We just sit around and talk about getting beat
So
on.
it's a support group?
Yes, a support group. That's all it is.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, fell in love. Glad about it. Proud about it. You know what I mean?
No, that's dope.
That's the homie. Yeah. She the best. She is.
Definitely happy for y'all.
You the bestest. Yeah.
DJ Khaled voice.
Yeah.
Nah, that's dope.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I wanted to, because we are talking about, the entrepreneurial side of
Right.
things, right? So I guess, and we were talking about this off camera, I wanted to kind of go into the business mindset of saying, okay, how did you guys go about getting your business structured properly? Because a lot of, especially in the urban community, we don't know that. We think we go on the LLC.com, sign up,
and they be there.
and pay that fee,
And now we
got
got 20,000 back.
Yeah.
On tax.
But we don't know how to properly structure our business. So if you guys could kind of go through that, any trials or tribulations you guys have faced up to this point, or something that can lead a lot of people in the right direction.
Yeah, I went through a lot.
And I learned from him.
Before
So
we met.
I
So
had it fairly easy.
I wouldn't necessarily, for the sake of illustration, I'll call it a shortcut, right? And what I mean by shortcut in our community is when you learn how to do something the right way, it takes a fraction of the time that everybody else. And one thing I did learn, a problem we have in our community, there are a plethora of successful businesses in our community. But if you as a young entrepreneur walk up to that veteran entrepreneur who's figured it out and ask them how to do it, they won't tell you. That's the problem.
We gatekeep information.
We gatekeep information. So
I told you about that.
you see what I'm saying? So
We
with her,
stingy.
exactly. So with her, I said, okay, I'm not finna go through this again. I know I'm not finna watch you go through this. This is how we do it. This is how you get it right. And I put her in spaces so she could have what she needed in areas that I didn't know. Because I ran a fitness business and tactical business, so it didn't require the state licensure that she has in the certifications and the degrees and all of that. So I just made sure she had what she needed so she didn't make the mistakes that I made. And I made a lot of mistakes because people wouldn't tell me. And I had to learn that shit on my own. Like I had to read, I had to study, I had to ask people. Full transparency, I stumbled on a couple white dudes who owned a gym in Shreveport. And they was just like, I had a desk, I was a trainer, and dude dropped a 5-inch binder on my desk one day. He was like, that's every mistake this gym has ever made.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And it hurts me to have to say that because a white dude did it. And I asked all the successful black people how to do it. And nobody ever had time or nobody really want to give me the information.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story to see.
That's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole
Well,
other
look,
story.
we definitely have to bring y'all back for a part 2. Because once I get trained and certified, I want to tell y'all about my experience. I had to pull on the motherfucking Kroger, man. I had
Because what I was going to say is, and I'm just speaking lightly based off of what I see,
Right.
Because I don't know all the facts, right?
Yeah.
But when you see these celebrities from our side of the world, right, in our community, we don't see a lot of this. It's a lot of spread it out. And I remember me and Chop had a conversation one night how a lot of black people, we don't give the information to each other. We just happy to see each other make it, and then that be it. So like for example, say Chop is on the end of this street and you at the end of the other street, we just gonna wave and say, hey, how you doing? And then we gonna move on.
No
but we're
command.
not gonna ever connect and say, hey, what you do?
Right.
how'd you do this? Man, I've been trying to, it's never that conversation. It's always like, I'm just proud that you made it. And we just gonna live our own life. And I feel like that's a big problem.
That is a big problem.
And
Go ahead.
And it is, because fortunately and unfortunately, there are no other people in this field. There's people on the firearm side, there's people on the mental health side. Somebody who's a mental health clinician. Don't have to be a clinical social worker. You can be any type of therapist with any other LPCs, LCDCs, LMFTs, any of those other credentials, who's a firearm instructor and bridging the two.
And that's what makes y'all unique.
Yeah, that's what makes me unique. And so I had to figure that out on my own. So I had to make sure I wasn't doing anything unethical as it relates to my license, but then to doing things to where it's actually effective when I'm working with people as well. So I had to take a lot of the business concepts and apply them what I know to be right when dealing with people with creating programs. Because if I ever decide to go for funding or getting financial backing from people like that, I have to make sure things are in place so people feel good, like, okay, I'm investing in my money in something that's legit. So wanting to do that. So I had to spend a lot of time more so talking with professors and talking with people for like the business side of things to make sure things are in order, because I just didn't have anybody to go to. I had to figure it out on my own. So
man, this has been a abundance of great information, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I know we running short on time. We definitely will bring y'all back for a part 2, because I know we got a lot more that we could talk about.
Oh yeah.
But before we get ready to wrap up, just want to give y'all the opportunity to shout out your social media handles and how everybody could be able to find you online. Because I know y'all got a lot of them, because I got about 5 written down.
But I got
Website.
I think I got 3. So my Facebook is Tactical Social Worker, 3 separate words. My Instagram is Tactical Social Worker _PLLC. My website is tacticalsocialworker.com. Email address tacticalsocialworker@gmail.com. I think that's it for me.
All right.
For my stuff.
Yeah, that's it. I think.
What's yours?
You did Twitter? Give me Twitter.
No, Twitter like a mix. I'm cutting up on Twitter. So.
All right. BodyByOldTactical.com. That's the website. Facebook, Body by Old Tactical. YouTube, Body by Old Tactical. Instagram, Body by Old 318. Twitter, Body by Old 318. And TikTok, Body by Old Tactical. So.
Okay.
No, that's dope. And I was gonna say before, we let y'all go. If you both can combine on the answer, y'all can answer individually. What would be one thing from a business standpoint that you would say for words of advice, if you could leave one thing?
Worry about you. Don't worry about nobody else. If you know it's in you, if spirit has given you that to do it, then do it. So focus on self.
I would say an acronym that I have called DID, D-I-D. My dad and I came up with this: drive, intellect, and discipline. There's a lot of days you don't have drive. It's just,
It's a fact.
bro, some days you gonna get up, you can be like, fuck these people, man.
That's about 6 of my 7 days. And I'm off to it.
You see what I'm saying? In the intellect, you got to know what you're doing. You got to put in your studies. You got to do that.
Confidence.
In the discipline is what keeps you consistent on the days that you don't want to get up and do this shit. I tell people all the time, entrepreneurship, this shit looks good. We make this shit look easy. You work more hours than you work for more hours for yourself than you will ever work for anybody clocking in and clocking out. Don't get it twisted.
That gratification hit different.
I tell people, baby, look, when you clock in and clock out, you can go to sleep at night. But when you're an entrepreneur, where this next check coming from? Goddamn, okay, these bills gonna be consistent. AT&T don't give a goddamn about nothing.
Right.
They want their money. You know what I mean? So it's something. You got to have it, bro. Like you got to be consistent, and like I said, and all of us are guilty of falling short in these areas because we get tired. We're humans, right?
Right.
Consistency. If you don't take anything else from what we're saying, drive, intellect, and discipline. I got some shirts coming out that's gonna say that shit, but it's
I'm gonna
important.
I'm gonna need that. We gonna need that.
It's important,
Black XL, please.
bro. Yeah, gotcha. All my shit's black anyway, but like I said, that's kind of what we're saying off camera. Like, I've done the videographer thing. I've done the photography thing, and sometimes you just be like, bro, fuck. You see, but that's where that discipline comes in when you don't have the drive.
Right.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all for sharing that.
Okay, say something.
Definitely.
Looking all thick.
They've been living like this though.
Before we have to start a love podcast after 5. Nah, but we appreciate y'all coming out, chopping it up with us on the Chop It Up podcast show. Latasha, man, it's definitely been a pleasure.
Thank you for having us. This was fun.
Always.
Man, let me know when y'all get it. I'm gonna share it to my YouTube page, and I got a lot of followers that they probably feel abandoned, but
I'm sure they do.
Hey, tell them I'm back, baby.
I'm back, goddamn.
I'm back.
And then I'll take another 2 months off. But but yeah, man, definitely we share it on the platforms and all that. Share it on our platforms for you, man. We definitely get
No, we appreciate that.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely.
All right, Chop.
Wrap us up, man.
All right. So again, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Chop It Up podcast. I am Sav alongside Chop. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe on the page. Also, make sure you guys tap in to shout your stuff out again.
Body by O Tactical. Body by O 318 on Instagram.
Yeah.
Body by O 318 on Twitter.
And make sure you follow they movement, man. They doing a lot of great things, helping us out, and just making sure the world's a safer place. And we out.
We out.